Jose Camargo. This is the person who decided the president-elect of the country.
By the way, now that Raila has gone to join Ruto, they should now open the servers.
Kama wewe unajua kama ulishinda, unaogopa nini? Kama ulishinda unaogopa nini? Unaogopa nini? Fungua, kama nasema uongo, fungua server. Fungua server.
Juzi tulikuwa nasema funguni server. Sisi tufunguni server. Maana tulikuwa najua ndani ya server kuna ukweli. Walifungua. Lakini muhimu ni kwamba Kenya ni mkubwa kushinda sisi zote. Unasema Ruto aende. Aende nani ifanyike?
Hello and welcome back to Brave Kenya TV, where we stand for transparency, accountability, and good governance. Now, this one is one that hits at the very base of our democracy. I mean, the very essence of democracy is that people line up and elect their leaders on election day. But in Kenya right now, there's a big question mark of whether the leaders who are elected, who are supposedly elected into office, and especially the presidency, was actually legitimately done. Now, this was raw. This was not just an outburst of a politician. S.K Macharia is not a politician. He's not a normal politician who goes for public office. He is a businessman who owns one of the biggest media houses in the country, Royal Media Services. And what he wishes that President Ruto must do for Kenyans is to ensure that in the next election in 2027, the Kenyan vote actually matters. It counts towards putting a president into office.
In the election of 2017, it was Raila against Uhuru. We learned that the register had been changed. You keep on pressing me, I will stop. The register has been changed. That's how Raila got beaten but remember, Maraga codified discrepancies and drew away the election. And you remember Musando, that's how the votes have been put in. Because all this is in our records about the election of 2022 at Naivasha. I tried to explain that the register that is going to be used has fake voters, but Raila was so impatient, he stopped me from explaining. And because of the handshake with the Uhuru, he thought it is a free flow. 2022 election comes. It's Raila against Ruto. They were saying we have deep states, and Ruto would tell them which deep states you have.
Sijui wako kuna kitu inaitwa system. Ati ndio watatumia kushinda uchaguzi. Mimi mnanielewa? Mimi nikisimama hapa, si mimi ndio naibu wa rais wa Kenya? Si walishindwa kuniondoa? Mimi nataka niwaulize, mkiniona hivi, mimi nakaa mtu ya kuibiwa kura mimi?
Because Ruto knew exactly how the extra votes will be put in. It doesn't matter, I'm 82 years. If I get kidnapped or hijacked, 84. It doesn't matter. Kano has gone and he was younger than me, so we must just tell this. Because I want to tell President Ruto, and it's good that Raila is here, if he wants to leave this country good, because he's the president, is to make sure that a new register of voters is created so that all Kenyans can cast votes, and each vote will even if he loses, at least he will leave a good country that counts votes.
Wow, wow, wow. This was a bombshell. What he was actually saying by that is that in previous elections, since 2002, the Kenyan vote has not counted as far as the presidential election is concerned, and maybe other states as well. This is dynamite. This is explosive, guys. Are we running a democracy in Kenya, or are we running some kakitocracy, some mafia state, where elections really don't count, and the leaders in power know that they don't have to rely on Mwananchi for them to get voted into office? The way Ruto has been behaving in the last 2.5 years as president begs for the question, was this guy actually elected by Kenyans? And is he actually wanting these same Kenyans to elect him back into office in 2027? Right from the overtaxation to the brutalizing abduction and murder of young Kenyans, Gen Zs, who are the majority of voters, shows a man who does not care. He does not care because he knows that his election does not depend on the Mwananchi at the ballot. Yes, I dare say that. That is why a president can behave the way the current president is behaving. Because if he truly knew that the people are the ones who elect him, he could be working tirelessly, first and foremost, to fulfill his pledges, his promises. His bottom-up pledge could be honored right now. But the guy has turned 360 and now he's actually working with the dynasties. He's basically showing a middle finger to all the hustlers, telling them, look, there's nothing you can do to me. Kama mnafikiri mnaningoja 2027, tumejipanga, my friend. There's nothing you will do. So that is the tragedy of what is happening right now. But I want to delve deep into this and show you what's really happening here and what we can do as Kenyans. I mean, let's not act like we're helpless in our own country. I refuse to believe that we are helpless. This new constitution 2010 has given us, the Mwananchi, the sovereign, a master key that if things don't work, here is a key that you can use to short circuit, to restore factory settings, and to get things working again. Guys, kindly, if you're new to this channel, please take a moment to subscribe, give this video a big like so it can reach out to as many people as possible, and hit the bell button so you can get notified whenever we post new videos like this ones. Let's go!
S.K Macharia. This is the person who decided the president-elect of the country.
Kama wewe unajua kama ulishinda, unaogopa nini? Kama ulishinda, unaogopa nini? Unaogopa nini? Fungua, kama nasema uongo, fungua saba. Fungua saba. Fungua saba. Open the saba.
Yes, this was Raila Odinga after the 2022 elections when he came out and said, open the server. I got more votes than William Ruto, and that can be verified if you audit the servers. And you can hear the crowd chanting, Ruto must go. That was the clarion call of the Azimio protests of 2023. The same man turns around and says there is nowhere Ruto is going. Ruto cannot go anywhere before 2027.
Unasema Ruto aende. Aende nani ifanyike?
You see, when you see someone acting uncharacteristically, you only need to follow the money trail. Follow the money and you will know why someone is behaving so out of norm. I mean, Raila has been the person who has always fought on the side of the people. And now all of a sudden, he's the one defending Ruto, saying, let us give him his full 5 years. He's no longer interested about Fungua Sava. You know, he was saying, Fungua Sava, Fungua Sava. Right now, he does not seem to care about electoral integrity in Kenya.
Juzi tulikuwa nasema funguni sava. Sisi tufunguni sava. Maana tulikuwa najua ndani ya sava kuna ukweli. Walifungua. Lakini muhimu ni kwamba Kenya ni mkubwa kushinda sisi zote.
Is that the true spirit of a statesman? This guy has just exposed himself. He has shown that he's a transactional leader, a con man, as Miguna so aptly called him. People like Miguna and people like PLO have always maintained that Raila is not the person the public thinks he is. Behind the curtain is a broker, someone who's as deep in corruption as the people he seeks to replace. And this has come out clearly now that his snot is deep in the feeding trough. He does not care about the people and whether their vote truly counts. He only cares about himself and his tummy. The people be damned. That is the true image of Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is the unfortunate legacy that he's going to leave behind. Number two, and this is something that Ruto does not want Kenyans to notice, it is the fact that Ruto was actually more willing to give half of his own government, to give nusu mukate, rather than kufungua server. I mean, the main thing that Azimio were asking for during their protest in 2023 was open the server. Instead of opening the server, he called for NADCO negotiations, and later, pushed by the Gen Z, implemented NADCO to give Raila half his government. Basically, this guy, afadhali apeane nusu mukate rather than open the server. What does that mean? It means that he knows that he did not win the 2022 elections legitimately. And both Babu Owino and Kalonzo Musyoka have come out to say that Ruto, if he's truly genuine, if he's truly legit, and if he wants to promote electoral integrity, he should allow the servers to be audited and the truth to come out.
William Samoei Ruto, were it not for education, you would have never learned the tricks on how to steal, to rig votes.
By the way, now that Raila has gone to join Ruto, they should now open the servers. Sindio? Because that was what they asked me to go and do. That was the number one clarity. Open the servers. Because if they open the servers, the truth may get to be known.
Yeah, unaficha nini? Unaficha nini? I mean, if you want the elections fair and square, it's actually in your favor if the servers are audited, so that ukweli ujulikane and people know that your victory was actually legit. Even for Raila Odinga, if people have been calling you a serial loser, the best way for you to remove this tag from yourself is to have the servers audited, as you had said before in 2023, so that people know that you actually won the elections in 2022. Now, thirdly and lastly, there's something we can do, Kenyans. We cannot allow ourselves to go into another election that is just a sham. This has been exposed before. It's the institutions in Kenya, the IEBC, the Supreme Court, and also external players. There's a lot of foreign interest in what happens in Kenya, and those guys have their hands deep in our electoral processes. And we cannot allow ourselves, a sovereign nation, to be controlled by external forces. Our leaders to be chosen by foreign interest. We cannot allow that, because we have seen exactly what happens. These guys come into office and then they end up serving the foreign interest. They end up serving the interest of IMF and World Bank and the US and the UK. But they don't serve the interest of Kenyans. And that is why our country will remain impoverished until we start electing our own leaders through electoral integrity and holding them accountable. And that is the only time we'll see these leaders acting pro-people, acting for the interest of the people of Kenya. So what can we do? Guys, Article 1, all sovereign power belongs to the people, and they can exercise it directly or indirectly. I think it's time. It's time for us to exercise our power directly. This is the time we must call for electoral integrity in our country. We must follow the process, right from vetting the integrity of the commissioners who are going to be put in place, following up through the process of procurement, the process of voter registration, the process of cleaning up the electoral register. Everything must be followed very keenly by Kenyans, and we must be willing to come out on the streets and protest to get a credible body that will oversee our elections in 2027. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section. Thanks for your time. If you are new to this channel, please take a moment to subscribe, give this video a big like, and leave a comment, and also hit the bell button so you get notified when we post next time. God bless you. Aluta continue. Peace.